This video will show you how to repair the A1280 inlet valve on a Caroma toilet. While it is possible to repair the inlet valve while still installed in the tank, honestly it is so tight we think it would be extremely difficult. If you want to try it, just skip ahead on this video to the actual repair. We recommend removing the inlet valve, and to do that you would need to remove the tank. This is what you'll need for this repair. You'll need the A1280 repair kit, and if you are removing the tank, you will need a new tank to bowl gasket. We've linked the part numbers in the description below. The first thing you need to do when doing any maintenance work on your toilet is to turn off the water supply. Make sure to pop a bucket or a bowl down beside the toilet bowl as well. We'll need that later. Now flush the toilet continuously until as much water as possible drains from the tank. There will still be a bit of water left at the bottom of the tank. For this maintenance, you really need to remove all of that water. To do this, you can either quickly remove it with a wet shop vac, or you can simply use a sponge. Just keep dipping it into the water and wringing it out into a nearby sink or bucket. Once all of the water is removed from the tank, you'll need to remove the water supply line from the back of the tank. Some water will remain in that supply line, so once you've unscrewed the nut, place the end into the bucket you've placed by the toilet bowl, so none of the water will spill out onto your floor. Now reach under the tank and unscrew the nuts from the two tank bolts. Then simply lift the tank straight up. You can rest the tank on its side, exposing the bottom or the base of the tank. The next step you'll need to perform doesn't really have anything to do with the inlet valve itself. When you place the tank onto the bowl and bolt it down, the tank to bowl gasket compresses, forming a watertight seal between the tank and the bowl. Every time you remove the tank, you'll need to replace this gasket. This is because the seal is designed to compress. That used compressed foam seal won't be able to spread out and form a watertight seal, and you're very likely to develop a leak from the tank to the bowl. This wastes a lot of water and can affect your toilet's performance. So you can go ahead now and remove that used tank to bowl gasket, and we'll replace it before putting the tank back onto the bowl. Now unscrew the inlet valve nut and lift the valve out of the tank. You're now ready to repair the valve by replacing the inner seals. The first step is to pop off that blue cap. We are using a flat-headed screwdriver to easily remove it. Once the cap is pulled back, you can see that the white arm is held in place by a small plastic plug. You'll need to remove that plug. The easiest way to do this is just to push against one side with the end of your screwdriver. You can even use the metal end to push it a bit further out, and then pull it out the other side. Make sure to retain this part because you're going to need it later. Now pull back the white arm. Before you do the next step, make sure to note the location of the discharge tube. When you reassemble this valve, this discharge tube has to be in the same position or the top won't fit back on. Now you'll need to remove the inner cap. How you do this depends on how tightly it is attached. If it isn't too tight, you can insert a small bar or screwdriver into the holes and turn it in a counterclockwise direction. If it's really tight, this might not work for you. What you can do then is to insert a larger rod or screwdriver over the top, cup your hand over the valve and turn. This provides a bit more torque, allowing you to loosen the cap. Once you remove the inner white cap, turn it over to reveal the first black seal. Next, remove the flat seal sitting on top of the valve. Lastly, remove the larger inner seal. You can use a small screwdriver tip to access it. Now discard all 3 used seals. Now you're ready to install the 3 seals from your repair kit. First, install the large bottom seal. Place it over top of the valve and then gently tuck it into place. Place the middle seal on top of the valve and then insert the top seal into the white cap. You're now ready to put the valve back together. First, you're going to need to replace the cap. You'll see that there are grooves on the outer edge of that cap. They interlock with the grooves on the valve body. Remember we said to pay attention to the original position of the discharge tube? Replace the cap, making sure that the position of the discharge tube is located to the back and side as it was before you started. Push down on that cap and turn clockwise until it clicks into place. Now pull the white arm back over the valve, making sure to line up the holes in the arm with the holes at the top of the valve. Once it's lined up, replace the white plug. Pull the blue cap back over and snap it into place. If the discharge tube is in the correct position, it should easily snap back on top. You've now finished the valve repair. If you removed the inlet valve from the tank, you'll now need to put it back into place in the tank and attach it with the inlet valve nut. Screw it in firmly by hand, making sure that the valve is secure and steady in the tank. Now you can attach the new tank to bowl gasket by pulling off the paper and placing it around the outlet valve in the center of the tank base. Place the tank back onto the bowl, making sure that the 2 tank bolts fit through the holes of the bowl. Tighten the nuts on the bottom, making sure that the tank is on tightly and securely. You can now reattach the water supply line. Turn the water back on and the tank will refill. Test the flush to make sure that the valve is working properly. It shouldn't leak and the water should fill steadily into the tank. Once you're satisfied that the toilet is again performing properly, replace the lid and you're finished. If you have any questions about this or any Caroma product, please contact our customer service department at 1-800-460-7019 or by email at help@sustainablesolutions.com.